clicking and tabbing over to your YouTube video?
No. The city Musil. Or Musil. I'll probably fuck that up.
Mustaklos.
Mustaklos. We effectively got into the city, started assessing our inventory, lied to the dock hands and all that, and said it's a recently purchased boat, as well as, what would be Zashi's, air quote, first attempt at, merchant work here. So we only have like a few. Kind of made up a little bit of a lie on the spot initially of that, didn't plan out the business venture too much, even though we have a few pieces of plate mail and other things like that, not a full hold. It worked out pretty well, got us in the city. We were informed of a few other locations that we could visit, along with a few other plans of, trying to figure out what we want to do here. Maybe get a little extra money, but also just get clothes and other accoutrements and be able to relax a little bit better. It was at that point that we had found out about the Wet Duck Inn that was run by halflings, as well as the Lazy Socks Inn that was at the nicer district up north. After we headed towards the merchant district, some people were distracted by the heavenly smells, as well as the other interests of purchasing some equipment and a few other things ahead of time. We'd taken a moment to try to remember, it was the day before? I think it was the same day where we met the halfling barmaid / open bar section.
Yes, that was on your first pass through the city.
Yeah.
On your way in.
And the level of riz was off the charts. Zashi had proven champion of the chug and gotten all of the drink down, as well as a nice flirtatious kiss and wink. With that, I believe after that we had purchased didn't purchase a few things other than alcohol, and then started making our way towards the Wet Duck, or not the Wet Duck. I'm gonna fucking mix that up with the Lazy Socks Inn, where it was nicer. After that, we had settled down for the night. Some had a bath, others had, a simple drink and started eating. I got to meet the bartender there, Jaren, as well as, be able to play a little bit of music, and was welcome to continue playing. And Luce and I had a nice little jam out session where we entertained a few folks, did something a little bit softer so it would be easier to go to sleep and people would be relaxed. After which, in the morning, we debated on, some of us debated on, what to do. I went to the governor's house fairly early, woke up Luz very early in the morning with me to go to the governor's house just to make sure I could beat the line at around 5 a.m. And which at that point, a lot of them gathered. We went inside, met the older gentleman who talked a little bit poshly with his wig, probably. But after he was finished lighting his candles and such, he asked what we were doing here. I told a very bold-faced lie, which, especially since it would be my first time to the city, and also from being the Feywild, if I could get an ID that I was informed about, as well as being able to get a performer's ID so I could be paid as a performer. It was at that point, after getting a significant lie, labeling myself as Serena Waterstrider, a performer from the Feywild, from the Spiral Downs, that I ended up getting a DC-18 Gallerstub ID official, but somewhat misinformed fake, kind of. At that point, went back, and I believe, I'm not sure if Luz, you attempt your ID as well, I believe, right?
I'm sorry?
Did Lucille attempt?
Everybody went to get IDs.
Yeah, we all got
Lucille
fake IDs.
was second. Yes, I believe it was you and Lucille.
Yeah, she has a false identity as Zinni Underwillow, a halfling with brown eyes and brown hair. And also, that old fart, he was pretentious as fuck.
Hell yeah. I just wanted to double check, make sure that I was fully accurate on that. Which we planned on going back and informing the other two so they could try and get some fake IDs or actual IDs themselves pertaining to what they would want now that we had some information. The tailor...
After the bathing.
Yeah.
Cat baths and such.
The tailor that they heard about in the market was Bobby at the Spindler's Needle. After that information, they went and got their ID. I wasn't there in person to find out, but Zeke's Amors Horfast, if I recall correctly, or his full name, and especially being a previous or charge ward of the Gallerstep, was able to get on record easily, but also had the largest stack for the ID papers out of all of us.
Yeah, he wanted all kinds of licenses.
To which, proceeding from there, we went to the market to also visit the tailor of the Spindler's Needle. We met the Boy Scout, which I always forget his name. I think that's a good thing. Taking a small.
Are you referring to Erlin?
No!
No, God, no!
In which, at that point, Erlin was able to help us out, point us towards some of the cheaper bargain bin area. I bought some clothes for Pansiver, just as a little upper, just in case you wanted to change something out, something that might match your style a little bit, hopefully, but just guessing in the dark. Meanwhile, Zeke went to the Peaceful Rainbow, where it was specifically a person who specialized in jewels, a snake man who did not give his name, but also was able to take the few jewels off of his hands more easily. The Elegant Palm was the jewelry maker and seller. I do not remember his name, but there was also the other broker deal of being able to sell the rest of the gems to them. As for the other inquiries that we have done, they went down to the armor smith to sell a good few chunks of armor, as well as get a little bit more information. And the other air quote bounty that was brought into question, that is currently dealing with this situation, looking for men with blonde hair, a long black cloak, a lapel pin, who is a human. This was from the Peaceful Rainbow, with the acquisition that he had stolen from the jeweler, who had a small chest of what seemed to be 40 valuable stones, and for every stone that would be missing, he would have to charge us and take it away from the reward money.
Yes, sir. I believe that's exactly the note we ended on. And just for your notes, the name of the person that you have the contract with to pick up the money from the sold gemstone necklaces is Lurdas Yorvarax, a black dragonborn.
Apologies, I realized I had the oven on and I made sure that the house didn't burn down. And then
Good stuff. We have just finished the recap. You guys have gotten your tip about some thieves and have been making your way to the smithy. You all arrive and see an open doorway. There are several large statues outside that are carved as if to represent powerful sets of armor and arms. And swinging in front of the open door is a sign called the Halfsmith. You can see a very, very swole halfling behind the counter wearing full, what looks like worksman's plate mail.
sort of like initial appearance of a dwarf before we have a bit of a thing.
Yeah. And go, I know that dwarves don't exist.
So we're going to sell the armor right now. We haven't done that yet.
That has not happened yet, no. Zeke went earlier today to retrieve that from the boat.
Did we sell? So we sold the gems, though, right? I'm just trying to figure out why I feel like I have too much gold.
You sold the gems, and that
Right,
literally happened moments ago.
Yeah.
You probably have just finished counting all of your gold by the time you are arriving here.
Okay, good. I know what's going on now.
Yeah, Zeke passed us a fuck ton of money for the gems that were sold.
As you guys have been walking as well, you notice the very clear moment you entered the Halfling district as immediately all of the permanent homes and dwellings in this area shrank to about half their previous size. Even this building, though made for all of you, has only a 6.5-foot ceiling. So it is low feeling, despite none of you needing to crouch. Anyone larger than Zeke would definitely struggle in this place. And most of the tables and displays are about a foot lower to the ground than you are used to. Well, hi there, folks. Come on in.
Luce looks quite comfortable in the surroundings because she is the right size for this building.
Hey.
I
she
feel like I
is-
still have to punch a bit to get
She-
in.
She isn't
yeah.
She's in halfling form, so she's not visible wings. She's got brown hair. She doesn't look like her normal self.
If you don't hunch your ears or brushing or like you probably have to take off the hat, you know. What can I do a couple of pretty ladies like you for? Shuri and Zashi woke up. You could see he's clean shaven, bald, darker haired, swarthy, darker skinned and swarthy, with heavily calloused hands that he's carving something out of wood with as you walk up.
What actor would you say he looks like?
I'm not sure. I'm not picturing an actor really.
Just the token.
Yeah, I mean he doesn't look dissimilar to this. The proportions are fairly different, and the armor is not like a clean burnished armor. It looks as if it were like there are several extra layers of leathers underneath the plates, which are thicker than usual, so they would not be as easy to move in during combat, but would offer quite a bit more protection.
Oh, okay. Then Zashi is going to speak first, probably, and say, "We have some armor that we need to sell."
Yes, fresh. Not myself, but her ladyship being a fresh merchant on the seas.
All right, well let's see it. What are we talking?
Sort of take the box and around to the side and like plop it down there. Just bonk.
Oh wow. Stand up, step over to it, reach over for a crowbar and begin to set it against the wood before realizing,
I just
May
pulled, I just pulled the box open with my hands.
Oh,
Yeah, you just-
wait.
I just stuck my claws under and pop.
I was gonna ask,
first.
could we say that I, at some point in my organizing of my quartermasterly duties, can we say that I cast prestidigitation on these so that they don't have any traces of blood? Because I was thinking about that. We did pretty much kill all of them in their armor.
I imagine cleaning would have been part of organizing. That makes a lot of sense. I'm very down for that. Did you also give them a magical scent when doing this? Is there like a car air freshener of prestidigitation in there?
I mean, what's the equivalent? The fresh armor smell. Like it smells like fresh leather.
It would smell like leather, yeah.
Leather, probably, and oil.
I
Yeah,
was gonna
leather and
say
oil.
Yeah.
oiling grease to make it sure it's not rusted.
to polish. Yeah, like so that it looks particularly polished. Yeah. So you worked on your sales pitch a little bit as you walked over. So when Zeke pops the lid, he leans down and he goes, "Oh, is this freshly made from somewhere?" And reaches in and picks up a greave and runs his eye and fingers over it. This is fine work. I don't see. Are these full sets? And he starts going through them.
No.
But they are, right? Yeah.
Piecemeal for
they're-
some.
No. Right.
Obviously,
Yeah.
fresh starting.
They're missing. Sorry.
So we have them from various places. Some of them from scavenging from the war. Some of them
What he means is that It's a collection that we gained from a shipwreck.
That's
Okay.
what I'm saying. The war, folks is die. I got me scared.
Zashi, give me a deception at advantage because you're you're trying to save this lie. Okay. With Zeke's help, he nods and he says, so you're missing breastplates, pauldrons, and looks like about half of the sets are in here. Through and
Yeah,
counts a few of the
so-
sets.
Because of the, Aldridge blessed breastplate. So generally, where most of the impact is, we couldn't fully repair them. Some of them were pretty banged up.
Right. Well,
But as you can tell, we've done a fine job of polishing these up, making sure they're good in condition, and I think they will make some very good spare parts for you.
save me the work on crafting big in armor. At least try to check the quality. You mind if I give one of these pieces to my assistants while we talk about price? Make sure I'm getting a good product.
Sure. And I will just reach in and I will pick one up that I think is of good quality, which is not necessarily going to matter that much because Zeke's not a smith.
Do you think
but
that would
also-
be? Do you think that would be a high or low roll, or do you have a skill that you would like to try and use to pick out a good piece of armor to give him?
I feel like Zeke would be looking at the armor's quality from not the perspective of someone who wears armor, from the perspective of someone who pries it open rather frequently.
Mm.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Give me a perception then.
Yeah.
Can I help him? Can I be assisting because I have a lot of experience organizing the I would know what's in there and vaguely what it looks like.
You reach over and point at one of them for him,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
One thing that I will also say is I do want to just double check that there's not any, distinctive thing like we did actually get all of the marks on them.
Yes, all the embossing that would be distinctive or anything that was painted. Yes.
Yeah.
You already got rid of that. Yes, that's taken care
I
of. So
just
you
wanna-
do it. Give me the perception at advantage because you're having assistance from Sashi.
Wait.
You
Booyah.
two are both helping each other. Okay, you reach down and pick up a vambrace that is slightly shinier than the ones around it, and you have a moment where you wonder if it was from your buddies. And no, you remember he got thrown over the side, and you pass it over, and he'll step towards the back and say, "Toog!" And another halfling runs over. Give this a quick test. Don't damage it, but see how soft the metal is if it works at all. Throw a sword at it, and the halfling, who actually looks a little bit older, nods fairly eagerly and takes the piece before moving back inside. And you can immediately hear the cranking of bellows, and anyone who understands halfling would be able to hear a conversation about the type of hammers and tools that this guy needs laid out.
I like that name.
What are you looking to get out of these? For a half set of something scavenged, I usually don't go above quarter of the price. For the full thing, maybe 150 for each one.
What about half the price? Because we did put a lot of time into jumping in the water and fishing these items out.
I have a question. How much, percentage-wise, how many pieces, how many sets, and how many pieces, how much of each?
It it should be in the hold. You have about half of each set of plate.
Okay.
They're not sets of half plate because they're missing like the breastplate and things like that, but they are I believe the math I did at the time, I gave you guys a price. I cut
Yeah,
the
it's 1500 GP worth of scrap plate armor. 5 sets worth 300 each.
Okay, yeah. So he's offering you half of that currently, 150 each.
I
Oh,
do.
work. Okay, so
I do feel
yeah.
like we polished these up pretty good, and this is some good quality stuff. We know the stuff to pick. I feel like you could do us better. Nah. We was
All right.
expecting.
What about 200?
I look over at Zeke and I'm like, eyebrows raised.
Would you be able to do 250?
Would you be able to do 250 if we have an exclusive contract with you whenever we arrive here to give you first choice of armor and goods that we bring here?
Damn, you're just being generous, Twiggy.
It's good business practices.
Yeah.
Telepathically, you
He's
hear
gonna-
you should to Zeke and Shuri. This is, hot stuff from people we're trying to run from, so you might not want to draw this one out too much. Just saying. She says it to both of them.
As you're hearing that telepathy, he leans across the counter with a smile towards you, Shuri, and he says, "Did you see any other big blacksmiths in the city? I haven't."
No, but we do travel by ship, and it would be very easy to skip to the next port. Obviously trying to keep good, kind business with a very skilled and handsome blacksmith.
Kind
Your
business.
balls. I'm grabbing them.
Kind business, you say? Well, I mean, I enjoy fostering a good relationship with my suppliers.
And
Anything you could do to sweeten it to 250 for me?
You'd always spread the word a little bit further as well, to glory up your name. I am in the business of entertaining and grabbing a few people's ears quite often.
What would you all say to a little bit of free advertising?
What
and
what
he
kind
direct-
of free advertising are you thinking?
He looks over at Lucelle, who is currently in the form of a halfling woman. Not a lot of smiths that show off armor for us smaller folk. Something with a nice big label on the back, let them know where she got it. Be willing to provide maybe a breastplate if you would wear it for me. And he'll wink at you, Lucelle.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure if I'm skilled enough to wear that. Let me double check. One second. And she kind of blushes, a little, and then she does blush. She doesn't just kind of blush. Her ears get a little red. 1 second here. Double checking my proficiency. Unfortunately I can't really wear medium armor. I'm not skilled enough for that. I could handle like maybe leather armor. Do you have any studded leather armor I could wear with your logo?
I'll get something nice and studded for you. I think that would work fine.
Okay,
Shake
yeah.
on 250 apiece.
I'll be happy to wear your logo. And she smiles politely.
All right, he'll turn towards Cherie because she was the one who brokered the 250 with him, rather than Zosh use the merchant and proffer a hand.
Sorry about the sneezes.
That's a deal then. Much pleasure doing business with you.
He'll grab your hand, shake it, and he'll say, "All right, so long as my boy comes back, it gives me the okay. I'm happy to do business with y'all. Welcome to the Half Smith. Feel free to take a look around."
Alright.
Wow.
I just curiosity. more window shopping. Just want to have a look at any weapons that they might have, or
Sure.
anything that might pique Zeke's interest.
Sure, absolutely.
Scout around.
Why don't I go get you a fine piece of studded leather? We don't keep that out in the front.
Not a problem. Also, I'm sorry. My halfling is real rusty. I'm a refugee, and my family didn't have many other halflings to talk to, so I better in common if that's okay. But I actually do have my sizes. I can write them down for you. And she starts scribbling down some notes in common about her actual dimensions.
Now, are you giving your actual dimensions, or this
Yeah, I
halfling
mean, actually,
woman's?
the halfling woman's dimensions actually are identical to Lucelle's. It's just her facial appearance and her hair color are different.
I thought you were like a half foot taller, or am I misremembering that?
No, she just took off her wings and changed her hair color and shape,
Oh, okay.
and her ears
Then-
are different.
Okay, great. Then that does not bring up the problem that I thought it was going to. Hell yeah, good deal. He's going to disappear into the back. You mentioned window shopping. Was there something specific that you're looking for? Zeke? Oh, he's talking to people. All right. Anybody else looking for anything here? There are quite a bit. No worries. Zashi, are there weapons that you're looking for? Cherie, are you interested in any armor? Lucille, you're being provided armor. Is there anything that you don't have that you would like to pick up?
She actually does ask about a mace.
You would be able to see that there are racks of weapons, including maces and flails, laid out on a table over here. And while there are one or two pieces that are sized for medium creatures, there are several more sized for small creatures.
Yeah, she definitely looks for a mace, and she picks them up and tests them out, see how they feel in her hand.
And Zeke, you said you were looking for what? Window shopping?
I mean, really just anything that piques his interest, but honestly, Zeke doesn't have much need for weapons and armor. But like, if something,
I mean,
or like a little knick-knack, like a dagger that looks real pretty, or yeah.
I think the thing in that case that would catch you is that there is a locked glass display that has 3 silvered weapons in it that are pre-made, all for medium creatures. The only other thing I think that would catch Zeke's eye is that there is only one of, and it's the largest weapon in the store. There is a huge double-bladed halberd that hangs on the wall over these stands. It's massive.
Definitely come and have a look at it.
Yeah.
Is there like a plaque or anything?
There's
Like
not.
a label?
There is not. It almost looks as if you took a battle axe size for a small creature and put it on a halberd pole. Is what it sort of reminds you of. With it, and it has a large vicious spike on the butt.
That's interesting. Is that? And I just sort of like look over and see that the smith is no longer at the desk. Ah, shit. Is there like a label? There's no like price label or anything like, or no information about this thing that's just there.
No, it's not on like a rack. It looks more like a wall mounting because it like, for example, Lucelle would not easily be able to reach it without a footstool. You can because it's at like eye level for you, but that means it's only a couple inches below the ceiling.
Yeah. Is it like bolt? Like, could I just pick it up, or?
It looks like you could just lift it off like a curtain ring, a curtain rod.
I'll do that and like taste the weight and just hold it.
it's terribly well balanced as you hold it. The large spike at the end seems to do wonders to balance the weapon out, and you realize that you could probably just as easily slash with this weapon as you could pierce with it.
This is good that in mind, and I'll reach it. Well, reach forward and put it back. And that spike has reminded Zeke of something that he'd like to see about figuring, and he's gonna come up. And is it like a bell or something?
Yeah.
He'll just like hit it, and then like probably not like pull his hand up for the first one, so it just goes thonk, and then pick it, and then lift his hand up again, and then like get his claw and just go ding.
Okay. While you were examining stuff, Zashi, Shuri, was there anything you two wanted to look at for the ding?
Yes. Longbows,
Longbows,
daggers,
daggers.
and if they possibly had the elusive and mysterious finesse longsword.
You don't see a finesse longsword laying around. You might need some more exotic metals that are just easily found here.
Is that in mithril?
Oh,
Yeah.
you do easily find the longbows. There are several longbows, though short bows are more common. You find the daggers, including the silvered dagger, which is one of the 3 weapons in the case. You also find a set of throwing daggers. I'm not sure if she would have ever seen these before, but essentially they are daggers that have an increased throw range of 30-80, but they cannot be used in melee. They don't have the grip for it. They're weighted only for throwing.
Would it be like improvised in melee?
Essentially, yeah.
Kind of brings a big smile to her face, especially for that. I think I have a few things here that I'd be picking up.
Alright, is there anything else that you are looking for specifically?
Other than that, I feel like the daggers, the silver dagger, and the longbow, obviously, if he has munitions, unless there's a Fletcher.
There is a big box of arrows over here.
Hell
Just a big fucking crate filled with arrows.
yeah.
And you can see quivers. You can see quivers hanging behind the counter on the wall.
Yeah, we're getting a whole lot of stuff now.
Okay. And Zashi, you're not a big weapons girl, but like anything for personal protection that you're interested in?
Honestly, probably not. I don't think Zashi would be very interested in anything in here.
May I challenge that briefly?
I mean, the only thing I could think of is like Zashi might be interested in rebinding her book. Maybe he has leather, but like, other than that, what is your idea?
I would wonder if the silvered weapons would catch your eye at all, being someone who has been recently diagnosed as other than human.
I was under the impression we got this fixed. What do we need to fix it again?
The blood of the guy.
Oh, the blood of the guy. Right. Okay. I mean, maybe. I guess yeah, maybe like a silver dagger. But like, I kind of imagine that Zashi is a little afraid of real weapons.
Okay. That's totally fine. You would like see it, it catches your eye for a moment, but you pass.
Yeah.
Okay. Then as you have all moved around the store to begin investigating, Zeke walks back over to the desk, dings the bell, and less than a minute later, the half-elf man walks out. He's taking off a pair of gloves, and he has uh, a set of studded leather armor that's on a coat rack, or a coat hanger that seems to be attached to his armor, which suddenly makes sense why there are all these loops and carabiners on his shoulders and arms.
Sorry.
Yeah, he walks back over and he says, "Yes."
Zeke sort of goes to like instinctually lean on the bar, but then realizes it's like almost down to his knees, and then sort of stops. Couple things. That big old Albert over there. It's about my size. Anything special about it?
I'll say, you're probably the first fella big enough in here to wield it. It's a special type of thing, trying to combine a halberd, glaive, and a pike all together. It'll let you hit stuff from real far away, even a big fella like you, and you can choose to stab them with it or slash them with it, whatever you're trying to do. So if you need to get by a shield, you can, and if they're just charging it, you can slash them right across the throat. Far as cost, it's probably one of the finer things I've ever made. Be about 30 gold for that one.
Understandable. I do have a more personal requisition. Commission, I think is the word actually. Sorry, I need the words. And I'll take out one of the harpoons that I took from the fisherman. I done been throwing these a bit. Got the rope on the back. I was hoping you could make it like official, so it sticks in, and I can pull the thing back. I can pull whatever's on the other end back. Is that something you could do?
I mean, I could try. I've never made anything like that. Do you want it like to attach to you, or like you hold it?
I can hold it just fine. I just need a big ass bar sticking out the back of this thing, so that when it goes in, it don't come out.
I'll see what I can do. I mean, most anything will come out if you pull it hard enough.
Yeah, but takes a bit more effort to come out.
You might be better served talking to an artificer for this one. With a more detailed construction.
Just a big ass spike coming out the back. There's a big ass spike on that glaive there.
Sure, but that's meant. It's hard to make something that'll pierce through armor and also not come out. You need a small and he kind of like shows you how it's designed like a stinger rather than a
shark.
Yeah, it's easier for like arrows because the head is already very small, and you could put things on the wood itself that are behind the head, and it'll be and can be smaller than it.
I mean, could you stick something, I don't know, a little bit down the shaft of the spear there?
I could see what I would come up with. Whatever it is, it's going to be more likely to break off inside him than come out, if that's what you want. You got to pick between sturdy or hurdy, I guess.
I'd like you to break off something inside me. Heyo.
Whether she said that out loud.
You know what? She said it out loud, but it was very quiet.
Just out of curiosity, to whom was it addressed?
So she's looking at a battle axe on the table and just murmurs that under her breath. Shuri and Zeke hear it, nobody else does.
There's no determining who it was directed at.
All right. Well, I'll assume it was the axe then. Yeah. So I'll sort of try. All right. Well,
I'd give it a try. How much you're willing to put into a project like this?
well, you said that the arty fisher thingy. Is there someone around here that might have that kind of fishing?
I mean, there's more than a few artificers in the city. I mean, you just look at any guard. But as far as smithing with it, you'd need probably one of the somebody in the market selling specialty weapons. Something that I wouldn't be able to make here. Most of my business, you know, comes from making stuff for the town, horseshoes and the like. But this is what I got. I put this stuff out on display here because it's what people like you come in and buy.
Alright. Well,
You draw me a picture of what you're looking for. I'll give it a shot.
I just like. Is there like a piece of paper in front of me?
He could produce a piece of paper.
Yeah. I like get the piece of charcoal, just draw a line, and then a fucking thing. It just there's just like it's like an arrow, but with only one side to it, basically. Just like a drawn arrow. Just that.
Very classic harpoon look.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's not. It's a very simple drawing. It gets the point across.
Yeah. 'Cause I'll see what I can make for you. And mechanically, I guess I should ask, what are you looking for here?
Basically, I just want to throw the harpoon and be able to wrestle someone back towards me after I hit them with it.
Sure. That I could definitely do. What I was picturing is something that you hit them and then pull it out and it does more. It like rips them more.
I mean, that would be cool too, but Zeke is more concerned about getting folk that he can't hit with his claws into range where he can.
Gotcha. All right.
And I'll take that knife.
All right. 30 gold then.
Easy. And I'll put that down. I'll sort of go to reach. Would 25 be reasonable given that it's pretty big? I don't imagine you're going to be selling it to anyone else.
I mean, that there's my pride and joy. Many a night and day. Oh.
How about I'll pay you the 30, but I don't gonna make any upfront payments for the harpoon. Trust me, there'll be some folk who's getting some big fish or whaling who'll be real happy if you patent that, sell it to them.
All right. Fair enough.
Sounds good. And I'll pop it down, and I'll just sort of look at it and lift it up, do like a bit of a twirl with it, and almost, but not actually hit me.
You absolutely cannot twirl it in this space. There's unless you're going to hold it completely horizontally and go somewhere where you're like not near any of your compatriots. Like if you're holding it up and down, the top and bottom would hit the ceiling and floor when you tried to
in
spin
which case, I'll very carefully maneuver it throughout the shot.
Yeah.
Like,
gigantic building antenna, essentially. It's huge. I mean, it's like 8 feet long, I would say. It's huge.
yeah.
And I'm going to say that the cost for this, or that the weight for this is going to be double that of a Glaber halberd, so it's going to be 12 pounds for this thing.
Oh, damn.
So it is a hefty boy.
And
Damn, it's big.
All right, so Shuri, a longbow, how many arrows?
6 euros. It comes out to 3 gold because it's 20.
Okay. Okay.
The silver dagger. Obviously, I start laying out effectively the 143 gold that I'm spending here. The longbow.
Then where's the 40 coming from?
Well,
How many daggers are you buying?
I'm buying 20 throwing daggers, 4
Oh.
regular daggers, the silver dagger. Do you also have crowbars and pickaxes by chance? Because we've come across a few caves with gems before.
You ever hear the phrase like his eyebrows disappeared into his hair? His eyebrows are retreating across the top of his head as you keep laying out stuff on the table to buy, and then you ask that question. How many?
his eyebrows eventually reach the back of his head and form a rat's tail.
Captain, do you think we would need 1 or 2 in case we encounter another cave like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to have that option.
2 of each then, 2 crowbar and 2 pickaxe.
He'll produce the crowbars from under the counter, go into the back, and get some nice freshly made pickaxes. You can tell like he probably does a lot of business with pickaxes. There are several very nice war picks on display in the room, this being a mining city.
Even better. I know they're gonna last.
And that'll be 2 gold each for 4 of those. That's 8 gold, 8 more gold.
8 more gold. I'll start counting that out.
G Bus Lorenzo. Okay, so what, 151 gold total?
Yeah.
God damn. What?
Have 25 from me. Actually, make that 4 from me there. Sure, you have goods for the ship.
Okay, I will be sure to account that. Thank you. Just making sure we have the most optimal selection if we run into such endeavors again.
Good to be prepared.
Lucelle, he proffers you a set of studded leather armor, which has stitching on the front that says the Half-Smith. And on the back there is an address of the Half-Smith in Mustaklos.
She looks at it, and in everybody's head, you hear a collective sigh. It's like, I look like such a fucking dork with this thing. And she's like, I'll put that on right now. And she puts it on, and she does a little twirl for him to make him happy. It's like, I'd like to buy these. And she puts down, and she, I guess, is the case. Does he have to retrieve the silver daggers out of the case? I guess she has to point at them, right?
Yes, he would get those out there. They're
Yeah,
like
right.
the case is on the counter.
Yeah, there's like 2 left, right? Because that one was bought by Shuri.
So there were 2 daggers and there's 1 longsword. Yeah.
Okay, she buys the other silver dagger.
Okay, that will be
no,
52 GP for that one.
How much is the longsword?
The longsword is fucking 115.
Okay, she says, so since we're business partners, if I were to buy that sword and the dagger, could I get a small discount on that? And also, I'm interested in this here mace.
Take the mace for free if you clear me out of silver.
Okay, so 150 plus how much is the silver again?
52. So it's
2.
167 total.
Okay, 167. She says she pulls out the 167, or she produces 167 with a flourish. I guess would that be a sleight of hand for her?
Okay.
Nice. Definitely pulls it out of thin air. 162 gold.
Oh,
A fine trick. Mind if I ask you folks, where are you from? A successful first business venture then with, your ladyship? Looks over at Zashi.
well,
Yeah, you could
He's
say that.
he's from all over.
refugees unfortunately pushed out by many of the wars that keep destroying the townships.
Yeah, I was a refugee. They picked me up and they brought me back, and I was like, "Hey, I'm looking for work," and they were real nice. So, I guess I'm the halfling poster child for them now. And she smirks.
Well, it's a pleasure doing business with my new trade partners. Feel free to come back to the Halfsmith whenever you need anything.
Always.
Just out of curiosity, do you have any idea how long it might take to at least get just a simple one then?
Why don't you come back in 2 days? I have a couple repairs that I still need to do. Wagon wheels that need fixing,
I'm not
but
really good on that, but I'll be back.
it'll give you a nod.
The ultimate Suicide Squad.
Final things that catch your eyes. Anyone interested in chains or climbing gear or cages for canaries or anything of that sort?
Actually, I guess Lucille would be interested in I guess do they have rope here or grappling hooks?
They would sell grappling hooks, definitely.
Or not rope?
Yes.
Well, she doesn't need the grappling hooks because she can just fly the rope up and tie it off. So she's mostly more interested in ropes. So yep, not worried about that.
Sequel sort of like as he's about to leave, catch the cages throughout the corner of his eye. Huh. Hey, Mr. Smith, did we get that man's name, did we?
No, did not ask.
Classic D&D party move.
Mr. Smith, how much for one of them cages?
What size are you looking for? Small, medium, or large? I keep mimicking your accent. That's not how he talks. He's more high.
It's infectious.
They're
Erlen,
you
no.
know, depends what size you're getting.
I'm gonna go. Is there like a difference between the distance between the bars? Like, would a large thing not fit a small creature?
I mean, depending on the small creature, I would say like a bird would not be able to be kept in one of the larger cages, because of like these are very clearly like a cage that you would hang from something or stack,
Yeah.
like more like a transport cage than a trap or like a pet's cage, if that makes sense. It looks like I mentioned like a cage for a canary because specifically what the most used ones would be
like
the
a
small
mining-
ones to exactly. So that sort of situation, if you have a specific creature in mind, I could more easily answer that question.
No, it's all good. Don't worry about it. It's just like a small songbird, probably.
Yeah, with a small cage would be the best, which would be a single gold for that.
You know what? One. There you go. And I'll flick it across, and just sort of land it on the counter in front of him, and then pick up the cage.
Tries to snatch it out of the air and misses it, lands on the counter.
Perfect.
All right. If everyone is good, I will take you guys back to the city map.
We got 250 each.
You guys received a total payment of
250 times 5, 1,250
yes.
divided by 4.
What about Pansfair?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forget. Let's chop that up by 5. 250.
I planned on going back to the ship, drop off a few things. Shall I give her a cut?
Yeah, sure. I'll just sort of like Zeke sort of does that initial like, yeah, it'll be fine, and then like does just like a last minute squint of like, you know, I've got to give it to her, right?
I am going to give it to
I
her.
trust Cherie.
All right.
In fact, I think I trust Cherie the most.
Yeah, she's been the most hollow and to the point with most of her shit. Ain't nothing hidden inside.
Right.
Just expecting people to try and come over a bit.
Understandable.
When they're just like, oh yeah, I'll take that 250 and just give it to someone when you're not there.
It's a fair squint.
Yeah.
All right. You guys are walking past. It's late enough in the day that you can hear the sparring, and the sounds of combat from the sparring hall. Is there any interest in sightseeing from anybody? Going to parts of the city that you haven't seen yet. You were given the handout, so you do know about all of the locations listed here.
As a pirate of some experience, would I have an idea as to where would be best to go for any, not necessarily illegal goods, but basically a black market, like in those close?
You would probably assume that the Wet Duck Inn, being outside of the city and slightly less reputable, would be a good place to start without any immediate leads in the city, just because it's been a while for you. I would assume that would be where you would think of first, mostly because whatever goods or transactions happen in there, they don't have to necessarily be brought into the city.
Hey Sparks, I'm gonna follow up on a favor for one of them jokes. Do you need anything right now?
No. Do you want assistance?
I mean, your company is always appreciated. What you do, you.
Alright, I guess we're going to go do what it is you want to do. Where are we going?
I'll explain along the way as you sort of mention that. I'm like, oh shit, sorry, I didn't tell you details. Basically, some folk done that, some gems from the snaky fella who's selling jewelry, and he gonna pay me a bit to bring it back.
Sounds good.
Hey, Cat.
We gotta go sideways.
Hey, you want an extra set of eyes for that?
I mean, if you want to come.
Okay.
Wait,
Also,
Wait, don't we have to go
Everyone.
actually?
Don't we want?
Isn't it 22?
What?
The Wet Duck Inn is 22, right, on the map?
Yeah,
Yes.
just outside.
So we would
sorry.
go. So
My
we would go
brain-
up
my
and,
brain-
and out this
brain-
door here.
Yeah, my brain is south.
Work. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zeke is like, oh, we go this way, and Zashi is like, I have the pamphlet.
Yeah.
I have the conch.
Okay. Lucille, are you hanging around in the halfling district on purpose?
No, I just didn't move my character token. Sorry.
No, it's okay. So this leads me to my second question. Where would you be heading at this point?
She's tagging along with everybody else.
Well, so the everybody else is split. Cherie's gone to one place. Zeke and Sasha are going to another.
Well, no, I guess she would tag along with Cherie then if they don't need her, but she does give the longsword to Zeke. But as we're splitting off, she's like, "Hey, Captain, it's for you." And she like gently pats him on the chest with the hilt.
I don't got one of these, but thank you.
It's because it's silver.
Oh.
And she in his head is like, and she's like, in case we got to deal with something, you know, rah, rah, in his head.
In case I or any other were thing needs to be put down like a dog.
I can handle it, but I appreciate the sentiment. And I'll put it through my belt.
Okay. Zeke's arsenal grows. Do you just strap the halberd to your back,
Yeah.
essentially? I'm just going to call it the halberd, even though it's like a
Yeah.
multi-polearm weapon.
The ham axe.
The Swiss Army pole.
God, I'm not calling it the ham axe. It's the Glayhal axe.
The Glaken.
Glayhal pike. Glayhal Ike. Glayhal.
It's
I
the
don't know.
Glake.
The Glake. No, I refuse. Okay, let's deal with Lucelle and Cherie first. You stop in the park. You play a small song. Do you wish to accomplish anything with this? Are you trying to draw a crowd, or are you just like, as you're walking, you come to that sort of central area? There's some seating, but it's not very crowded, and you're like, I want to play.
Yeah. Pretty much I want to play. If a crowd forms, then that would be nice.
Okay.
Play a little bit longer.
I will cast guidance on you to help with your performance.
Oh, hell yeah.
And this time she's not performing. She's just enjoying the ambiance and being a halfling this time instead of Lucelle, the nondescript halfling.
Okay.
24. Just feeling
Hell
my
yeah.
element. A little more foresty kind of an area with matching the music too.
All right. You do draw a little bit of a crowd. More than a few people applaud when you stop playing. You look around, there are maybe a dozen people that have stopped in their walk. A lot of couples, some families with younger children. Very Pied Piper of you.
Very deep bow. And I will. Oh. Keeping
You
up
know
the
what?
name a little bit.
Lucelle would have like, I guess she would, you know what, she may have purchased or at least acquired a sun hat at one point. She would have set up a busker's hat.
Okay. Sure. Roll me a. You rolled a 24. Roll me a d12.
Who do you want to do that, me or the
Cherie,
performer?
the performer.
Cherie.
Alright. D12?
D12, half of what you rolled. All right,
Nice.
you have made 9 silver from this performance,
Hell yeah.
and that's including like there are some coppers in there, some silvers, and maybe a gold or 2.
That's too much. I kind of just stopped and enjoyed the playing of it. Nice little.
Okay.
But deep bow to everyone. Hope to see you at the inns and taverns, Serena Waterstrider. Usher, to fill your gardens with beautiful music.
You get another round of applause, and as you walk off, it's another few minutes, and then you arrive back at the docks.
Hell yeah. Dropping off a whole bunch of money to Panzer. Some new clothes. As well as a couple of nice, shiny new daggers.
Ooh, she is very interested in the new daggers.
Giving her obviously the silver dagger. I trust her hands with it the most.
Okay.
10 of the throwing daggers, and curious if she would want all 4 of the other finer daggers as well.
She actually will pass on the throwing daggers. She prefers her hand crossbow, as it is. She is an expert with it.
Fair enough. I have a change of clothes if you want to change into something that isn't whatever we found along the way.
She will take the clothing, put it on like the chair, study it for a few moments, and then the clothing she's wearing changes to be that clothing. She like checks herself out in the mirror, turns, gives you a large thumbs up, and then puts the clothing in one of the closets in the captain's cabin.
Well, glad to expand your wardrobe in one way or another. Figured the silver one would be most beneficial if we run into something strange again.
When you do give her the gold, she does visibly brighten and immediately takes to pouring it out and counting it. About a few minutes into this, as you're telling her the other things, she gets your attention, and with her like questioning head tilt that you know means she's about to ask you a question, she mimes steering the ship and then holds up a watch that you're not sure where she got, as if to ask, when are we leaving?
Well, as far as I can tell, we seem to have some work here. Obviously not planning on staying here permanently, but do seem to be gathering some basis of false identification. I'll show her the ID. It's clearly not my name, the Serena Waterstrider.
She examines it, holds it up to the light, and then points at like the name, points at you, and shakes her head, and then tilts questioningly.
No, it's not my real name. It's something I figured there would be a better cover than... Ah yes, Miss Shuri has shown up and once again decided to join the gala stop after her banishment.
An understanding nod.
But figured it would be something you might be interested in procuring as cover. Not sure how you feel about that, but your decision.
She mimes writing and then shakes her head, points at herself and then shakes her head again.
I don't know how to write.
She shakes her head and then mimes writing and points at her and shakes her head again.
Yeah. Could always cover that another time. Of course, tend to be here for the evening. Throwing away a few extra pieces of equipment. Not sure how you feel about going out and getting a drink after. Or should I bring something else back? Yes, I will, pull out the half bottle of wine that I had. The nice aged wine.
Her eyebrows go up and she produces a cup from somewhere.
Let's sit back and celebrate some small victories for the time. I gladly pour her a glass.
All right. You guys are drink and spend a little time with Penziver on the boat. While that is happening, Zeke and Zashi, you guys are exiting the city. You both have identification. You show the guards as you're walking out. They give disinterested, if not unattentive nods in your direction as you make your way out. You're able to make your way to the Wet Duck Inn. There's a large sign of a tub with a rubber ducky swimming in it in massive size.
Oh shit, I was hoping it would be an actual duck.
As you push the doors open, it is a much louder interior, greeted immediately by tables filled with a variety of people, a bar crowded with what looked like off-duty artificers and guards, and a few tables with figures sitting on their own. There's a brilliantly colored red and orange lizard folk pouring drinks behind the counter.
I'll go up and wait my turn for a drink. But as I'm doing so, I'm looking around the bar for firstly anyone who matches the description that the sneaky salesman, the scalesman, had given me, and I will also, if I can't, get a beat on the perpetrator, then I'll just see if I can pick up anyone who I either recognize from previous dealings or believe is probably connected to that sort of underworld.
Sure, you can give me a perception to look around the room.
Alrighty.
Sashi, what about you?
Probably just kind of passively observing the room, looking at the people at the bar.
Okay.
What do you want, Brooks? I know you don't care burning stuff. Unless that, I don't know, was that a stereotype? I apologize if it is.
I'd say whenever you're having, I'll have as well. I'm not very picky.
Really? I figured...
Not with what I drink, just other things.
Okay, I kind of expected you to be a bit particular, given your upbringing.
Well, it's very complicated, but it's actually kind of lower class if you have a preference.
As confusing as all hell.
Alright, how can I help you? The lizard folk figure walks over and drawls in your direction.
Wow, where are you from?
Me? Split.
Awesome.
He looks at you as if waiting for you to laugh.
I mean, I imagine Zashi definitely laughs, actually.
Principality.
Oof.
Can I grab let's go. What's something strong, cheap?
Lizard folk homebrew.
Sorry, my brain was D&D, and I was just like...
No, lizard folk are actually in the rule book. I believe they were added later, but...
Oh, you mean where I'm from? I was released from Mordenkainen's crimes. He produces a greenish brown bottle that has what looked like scales floating in it.
Interesting. I feel like I'm not choke on those, but
He pulls out a strainer.
yeah, that's probably a better. Can I just get like a shot of that just to taste it, just for like it?
Pair of copper. And he'll pour a shot glass for you.
Yeah, take a sip. It's
Uh,
alright.
It is harsh going down. It's not the like gasoline burn. It's actually more like rice wine, but really, really strong. So you have this immediate flush in your face without the burn on at the back of your throat, if that makes sense. It
Yeah,
leaves
I
that
feel
sort
like
of milky feeling in your mouth.
I feel like because Zeke's face is covered in fur, like there may be a flush, but it's not visible. It's just his fur kind of stands up on end.
Right, you feel the warmth. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
can Zashi see that?
Yeah, in terms of flavor, it's also very sour. Not like green apple, but like an unripened vegetable. The bitterness of a carrot,
That's
the sourness of a warhead.
Well, I'm glad to have tried it, but I might just grab a whiskey if you got it. Alright. nice wine or just something a little more classic.
He'll produce a bottle of whiskey. I will say he probably catches Zashi going ooh at the Zeke's reaction to the first drink.
I mean, yeah, Zashi would immediately have been like, I think whiskey is probably good.
Fair enough.
Yeah. How
Uh,
much for the wine?
bottle, go.
Okay. Done.
Plops the bottle down on the counter and asks you to let him know if you want food and makes his way to the other end of the bar. I'm gonna resolve your perception roll at this point. But you can tell that most of the people that you're sitting with at the bar are employed by the city or the Gilarian army. Most of the people sitting around the table are not. You spy what look like a group of travelers, perhaps tieflings, so they all wear heavy head wraps and warm weather, if heavy, clothing. Perhaps they're from somewhere further south on this continent, you're not sure. You spy what look like some commoners sitting and drinking off a day's wages. But two people of particular note catch your eye. You see at this table there is someone wearing the Galarian uniform. They have a large pack with several different alchemical components and different concoctions that hang from them, similar to one of the people sitting at the bar with you. And they're not in deep discussion with the person across from them, but do seem very intent on what they're doing. And as you're watching with a 22, you do see as one of them stands up and begins to walk out, the other person who remains at the table passes them a bag of something. And with your heightened ears, you hear the soft click of stone against stone. And they walk out of the bar. The other person of interest that you see is the person sitting alone at this table here. They're wearing patched together scrap mail of several different sizes. You see what looks like ruined scale mail underneath, chunks of different plate mail. They have a large two-handed sword across the table next to them. This is what you see.
Oh boy.
And they catch your eye because as you're scanning the crowd, you see that this person is doing the same thing. They have definitely taken a note of you and Zashi.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty notable.
Mm-hmm. Of the two that caught your interest, one is more likely to be a criminal element. This person had passed off this bag of something.
And the individual who left, can I take a second, look around? Presumably there aren't ashtrays or anything in here, and then I'll step out, have a smoke just real quick outside, and then have a look and see just which direction that person went.
Sure. You step outside, light your pipe. If you're not hurrying out after them, they're probably a little bit on the ways. As you look out, but you're more than able to catch them. It seems like they are headed back towards the city. They're maybe a couple hundred feet away from the gates.
All right.
By the time you get out.
I'll also sort of mentally note their appearance and roughly where they're going. And then after a bit of smoke, come back inside. And I will pour Zashi a big drink. Enjoy that. I'm a bit of conversation to be done, but feel free to come with. Up to you. Just enjoy yourself.
Alright. I mean, I might as well join you. Looks a little weird.
And then I'll move and sit down across from this guy.
They look up somewhat surprised from their drink, but they cover the feeling pretty quickly.
Do you mind if we sit here?
One friend.
They'll gesture out without saying anything towards the seats. What did you say, Zeke?
I got a drink to share if you want.
Drinks are always appreciated.
You a
It's
whiskey
better
man?
it is better to speak when one's throat is wet. I'm anything if it's free, man. And he'll down a glass of what looks like the homebrew and sort of slide it over towards you.
And I'll sort of catch his glass, and just the second before I start pouring, out of curiosity, who was your friend there? I do a bit of business myself, and well, I met him out of town pretty soon. And I wouldn't be opposed to taking up some things that perhaps are a little cheaper, but might need to be moved.
I'm sure I don't know what you mean. Just a friend and I catching up.
And then I will pour the
Losing a
drink
dice as usual.
and then slip a gold coin underneath the glass as I slide it up to.
He'll pick up the glass with the coin underneath at a smooth motion, and when he puts the glass back down, the coin is gone. I see we speak a common language.
Don't we all?
What are you in town for?
Well, I've been out.
Looking for in the dark.
I've been out for a little while. Just getting back into business, and I'm looking for a couple of just some nice, simple. I did maybe some gemstones, that kind of thing. Just stuff that's nice and pretty, simple. Most folk find valuable, and I understand that sometimes they can be a little difficult to hold on to, depending on where you go.
He will very slowly reach over and pick up a peanut from the table, shell it, and eat it while looking at you. And as he chews it, he'll say, I'm sure that we could come to some arrangement. I'm familiar with a few of the merchants of the city. Any gems in particular? Or are you looking for a particular size for your... And looks over at Zashi. Fiery companion?
No, she's jamming in of her, so she don't be needing any more right now. But maybe in the future. No, this is for personal interest. And I will. Can I recall the gemstones that were missing from that was stolen?
Yeah, I believe I said it was an assortment. I'm not sure if I gave specific
Yeah, that's fine. I just want
list.
to. If I do know that information, I want to list off. I would say maybe a bunch of gemstones of about that size and value.
I would say, yeah. The size is something that you'd be able to give more easily.
Yeah.
About half the size of a golf ball.
Yeah. And I would say maybe 2/3 to a half of the ones that I mentioned are ones that were in that box. And the other one are, just to keep the suspicion perhaps a little lower to mention. different
Yeah,
ones.
I love that. Why don't you give me a persuasion?
Alrighty. And I will. Do I have any bonus because of the golden drink, or is that just the?
That was like to get him to talk to
I
you.
understand.
Say this specific thing. I'm gonna say just a flat persuasion.
Completely average.
I don't have anything like that on me at this moment. If you'd be interested in me reaching out to a few of my contacts, I could meet you back here or wherever you're staying. I don't believe I've seen the pair of you rent rooms here.
No.
No, we have higher tastes than that. I think.
And I don't mean to disparage your choice of place, but I prefer to not be the giver of the things that we usually trade in this business.
Of course.
So I prefer a slightly higher security.
Why don't I come and find you all at... And he looks at you. The socks? May I
Sure.
assume?
And
Can you be discreet? She raises her eyebrows.
Discretion is my given name.
I will say, there was a fella. I mean, we don't often share names in this business because it's, plausible deniability. But I recall his appearance. I think he was a human fella, blonde hair. I remember he had like a brooch on him, I think. It was like a sword or a dagger or something, kind of dark colored. I had some business with him, but I've been having trouble with him.
Too many blondes pass through this town. And he gives like sort of a smarmy smile. I've met plenty.
Why don't I fill up your glass while you see if you can remember any of the...
As you say that, Zashi will like discreetly place the gold coin herself underneath the glass.
No, refill his glass, slide it over with the coin, and as I do so, and I'll continue describing the information that I have on him. I think he had a couple friends with him, but he was the one who I was most interested in dealing with.
I think I know who you're looking for. The herbalist's son, right?
Yeah, I seem to remember he definitely seemed that kind of folk. Again, plausible deniability. I try not to gather too much information, just enough to get that. And let's see, this time I may have slightly underdone it.
He would be able to provide you with directions to the herbalist's home in the central quarter, I believe. the central district.
You know, I was hoping to pick up some new stuff to try in my bag. It's been a little bit. Thank you, friend. And why don't you enjoy another drink? I know, pour him another drink, not with any alcohol, but just the drink. And yeah, do let me know about any opportunities.
I shall be by this evening with such opportunities. What name may I give?
Zeke.
A pleasure then, Zeke.
A pleasure. Would you give me something to call you?
Why won't I be Sven for the time?
Alright, Sven. Alright, Sven. I'm sorry, I found that quite humorous. Alright, Sven. I will see you in time.
I look forward to seeing you and how deep your pockets are this evening. Zeke.
Deep as they need to be, and as shallow as they need to be.
We'll see you in the dark then.
Yeah. And I'll sort of step up. And as I walk away, I just sort of purposefully but passively, like, not as in like a threat to him, but just like I'm not making any steps to hide that I'm a massive fucking tiger who could probably rip his head off.
Sure.
Like you're standing up a little bit taller than usual.
Yeah. Like I just like, hey, respectful business partners, but also don't fuck with me.
You're not being as careful to make less noise as you get up.
Yeah.
Why don't you, rather than intimidate, give me an insight to see what you can read from his reaction to you doing that? Because I don't think you need to perform how good you are at being big. With a 13, he is a little bit more nervous than you might imagine he should be. Yeah, you're big, but if he's going to help you, he shouldn't have flinched slightly when your halberd banged into the table.
So he's like intimidated, but he's not really sure why.
Oh, and I'm sure I don't need to say this, but I prefer directness and honesty in my trade dealings. And
Honesty costs extra.
I understand that, but preferably a lack of deception on my part, given that I can be quite irritable.
Oh, right. Sashi stands up and smiles and gives him a curt nod. I think with that, we might want to make our way out. We can do it.
You always know how to calm me down, Sparks. Let's go.
Sashi will give a polite smile and nod and follow Z.
And like a smile that's probably a little more toothy than would be comforting to the other guy. Look forward
Classic.
to new business. And,
All right. You guys make your way out. We'll move you out and take you back to the main map. I'll say this probably took about the same amount of time as going to the boat and drinking with Pandas ever took. So I'll return everybody to the main map, and I'll ask, is everybody reconvening at the Lazy Socks?
yes, I need to get stuff from the other now, so I'll be a second.
Okay. Zeke starts heading to the Lazy Sock. Sashi, you're good with that too?
Yep.
Okay. Lucelle and Cherie.
Heading towards the Merchant District first, which is on the way anyway.
Yep.
Get another nice bottle of rosé.
Okay.
As well
I mean,
as a disguise kit.
I
Ooh,
mean,
okay.
are you talking about Zinnia Underwillow? Because that's who Lucille is right now. But yes.
Yes, I'm going to refer to your character as your
I just fuck
character's
with you,
name.
buddy. I just fuck with you.
It just makes it easier for me.
Yeah, no, you're fine, man. I'm just messing with you. Yes, Lucille is incognito as her assumed identity as the halfling Zinnia Underwillow, and she is daintily walking along with her supervisor, Cherie.
All right. You stop by the Merchant District. Is there anything beyond what you listed that you'd like to pick up? Like, would you like a scene for that, or are you guys just good to make your way to the inn afterwards?
I'd say she swings past the cool halfling lady to pick up a snack and a quick drink before moving along.
Lucelle was already, or Cherie was already headed there to get some more rosé. So you guys make a stop and have quite lewd nothings whispered into your ear as you're poured drinks, and you enjoy that experience again. I believe I said the bottle of rosé was 2 gold last time, so that and silver each for the experience that she provides her stall.
Easily done.
For this disguise kit, is that the one that comes with 2 specific disguises, or am I thinking of something else?
Probably think of something else.
Okay.
Because one that I am trying to find the price for it real quick. There we are. 25. Cool.
Okay.
Yep. Controls disguises and all that. And then also,
Okay.
I am going to back to the Spindler's Needle. And especially for those that I've seen, I feel like I've seen a fair share of much more ritzier dressed people by now wandering around the town comparatively. So
Sure.
I will get a much more fanciful dress, just kind of like almost something that would be more acceptable towards the nobler district for an entertainer / musician. A nice flowing purple one with plenty of floral patterns going down.
Okay. Yeah, you could very easily find that.
I will be arriving back at the the lazy sock, fully decked out like that.
Hell yeah. Alright, then everyone arrives at the Lazy Socks. Lucelle and Shri, what are your passive perceptions? Because you're arriving a little bit later than our other two.
My passive perception is 13.
Lucelle?
My passive perception is 13 as well.
Alright. Do you both make your way to through the upper city? There's quite a few people. Around midday, the city is the most active that you've seen it yet. As it's getting a little bit toward late afternoon. As you arrive back, there's nothing specific that jumps out at you. And everyone is at the inn. You did only purchase rooms for the one night. So your things, as it is past midday, are you can actually see a couple of your bags behind the front counter as you walk in.
Understandable.
Having seen that they have cleaned the rooms, and if you would like to get them again, you would need to re-rent them.
Zashi will walk up
One,
and
one more
look
night.
over to Zeke.
Just the one more night, I think. How much was it for the room?
Are you talking to Zashi or
No, I mean, I'm just saying, sort of mumbling it out loud in front of everyone, and I presume that the desk person will answer. Like, I'm almost saying it to myself as I'm, like, going up the corner.
We lease rooms here for a gold a night.
Yeah, alright. That's what it was.
I squint very heavily at that reaction. Does he
Yes,
seem,
does
does he seem
All right,
scared
friend.
now for some reason?
This is a different person.
Alright. I would just double check.
this person just has a speech impediment.
This person is very nervous at the approach of a lion man. Yes.
I
Got
just
it.
wanted
Like-
to double check if it was the same dude from yesterday now scared or something.
No, this is somebody else.
Alright.
He does have the same uniform on.
Thank you. And I'll put down a gold for me and Sashi's room. And,
But it is a gold person for our double rooms.
Oh, well, that's
I
mine.
apologize.
You're all good. I understand my appearance can be a little overwhelming. But I assure you, I do not harm anyone who has not given me reason to. And
Of course, sir.
I don't believe you have given me reason to.
Zeke, you're over-explaining it, and it sounds like a threat when you do it like that. Just say you're not gonna hurt him.
Making any promises. If he comes into my room,
You're threatening him again. Just stop. Just say you're cool.
I am cool.
There you go. We're cool, boss. She smiles and she puts down a gold piece for herself and also for Cherie.
Thank you. Here, and he'll like struggle to lift the box that clearly says "lost and found" on it,
I
and
will
has
just reach over and pick up.
yeah. Oh, that your room should be cleaned, and ready.
You should get a drink, friend. Chill out, so.
As soon as I'm off, sir.
I'll like see it. Is it like a glass or like a water bottle or something that he's got going there?
Not that you can see on the counter, no.
Take a sip of this. I'll hold out a whiskey.
Oh, I couldn't couldn't possibly while I was working.
My guy, you need to chill the fuck out. Just,
But
I'm not asking you to get absolutely smashed. Just take a sip, calm your nerves. I don't want you to drop any of my shit if I ask you to bring it to me.
then I definitely shouldn't have any. I apologize.
You're funny.
Zashi will kind of just watch this with the bemused, like, gaze and tip the guy a gold piece out of feeling bad for him.
Pity. Okay. He'll take it and nod his head in thanks, rather than stammering it out.
Well, I do intend to enjoy the tavern while it's still early. If you want to join me again, there's...
Telepathically, it's Zinni when I got the chocolate hair, D, sweetie. But yeah, that's fine.
My apologies, Cindy.
You're fine. And yeah, she nods and smiles.
Do you imagine that you finished or you took the remnants with you when you left this one, which is what you shared with the server. So this would be a new bottle that you have to hand over to the commissary.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You
to
can
play music for the night. Say hello to
Oh
Jim.
yeah, we gotta hand the bottle so they can be all they can chill it with their pretentious little chill machine. Ugh, telepathically once again.
Yeah, as you walk in and offer the bottle to Jaren, he'll express what a pleasure it is to have you all for another night. And how do you pitch that you want to perform here to offset your cost?
Well, keeping the tempo, I feel like something relaxed on the mid-afternoon. Keep it a little lively till later in the evening when things start to dwindle down. Then once we get to the late evening, you could signal me if you want to make it an early night, and I can start slowing it to a much more relaxed tone where people will be able to put their mind at ease and maybe seek some sleep early.
I'm muted. Hello. He'll nod. Why don't you give me a persuasion check to convince him?
Hell yeah.
Pretty low DC because you've got the background.
And I'm much finer dressed this time.
And you have the papers to back you up.
Yeah.
You are a licensed. Yeah. He will gladly agree. And tear off a sheet of paper from a pad that he has and draw up just a very brief contract with you.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, you can choose between drinking for free tonight, if you would like to get any drinks like from the bar, or you can have your room cost refunded at the end of your performance.
I'll stick with my room cost refunded.
Okay. Well, then please. I don't exactly have a stage or anything, but if you'd like to make some space on the counter and sit, you'd be more than welcome.
I'd appreciate that. I'll try not to take up
I
too much
appreciate
space.
you, Miss. I'm sorry. What is your fake last name?
What is Strider? But you can call
Miss
me
Strider.
Serena.
Then Serena, please. And he'll set that up for you.
Gladly perform for the night.
Okay. Lucille, are you gonna hang out with him the whole time, or with her the whole time? Excuse me. I saw you sending it to Jaren, and that's what made me ask that. Lucille?
I'm sorry, I zoned out there. What was that?
I said, are you gonna hang out the whole night while Cherie performs?
Yeah, Cherie makes her reminder of home.
Okay. Then Cherie, give me a performance to see how you do, and then we'll check in on our other two.
Hell yeah.
I would say that Lucille is definitely going to approach everybody to get some memories to edit into a stream to send to the family tonight.
Members of the party.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. We'll deal with that when it's still like late afternoon.
Yeah. When
You have
we
plenty
get
of-
closer to the end of the night. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You'll be hanging out with Cherie, Zashi, and Zeke. You were told that you would have a meeting tonight. It's unspecific, but it's definitely not night yet. Are you guys both gonna plan to stay in the room until then? What's the goal? What's the game plan?
I just
Josh
wanted
would probably
to,
suggest food.
I just wanted to put my stuff down. Yeah, I could eat. I was thinking heading over to the herbalist, having a talk to him about his son and what's going on. But Yes. I mean, if you want to hang around, I'm sure I can swing it.
I have no prior commitments.
Why don't
I'll-
we pick something? Oh, just. I'm sure. Oh, somewhere.
What was that? I couldn't
Yeah,
hear.
you're coming in and out.
Why don't we just pick something out while we're wandering around? I'm sure there's a stall somewhere.
All right, sounds good. Sashi will also kind of set her extra things down and look at Zeke ready to leave.
Yeah.
You two are gonna go visit the herbalists. Are you gonna go tell the other two first, or
Yeah. I'll
wait for them to be?
I'll
available?
go and tell them. We're just going herbalist, pick up some more stuff from the pot. Be back.
Okay. If you are sure. Lucelle and Shuri, neither of you are. You guys are both gonna stay here.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's enjoying being able to play, see the people, know the town.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, before.
Yeah.
Before we leave, Zashi would want to go quickly to the front desk and say if a man comes looking for Zeke and we're not here, the performer in the tavern is the second in command. Get her if we're not here.
Of course. Anyone looking for? Is it Zeke? Zeke, it was.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Zashi will nod and walk out.
I'm surprised that boy does not jump out of his old skin every time he sees a shadow.
I wonder what made him so finicky.
I have no idea. Maybe his mother kept him in a box until he was an adult or something.
Maybe he has some deep, what is it, Leonin baggage?
Maybe he's a racist fucker. I don't know.
Yeah, he's racist. And Zashi will just seem satisfied with this answer.
All right.
Do we see any notable food stalls on our walk to the herbalist?
So you would not find anything like that in the upper city. There would be I mean, there's the homestead, which is like a large farm fresh, not exactly restaurant. It is a tavern in its own right, but it's a family run business. Right here that you would pass on your way to either the central district or the merchant district. If you were to go looking for like street meat, you'd want to go to the street vendor building, which sounds like a misnomer, but it's just essentially a large pavilion, a house with no walls, essentially, that has maybe 40 different vendors, half of which are food.
That sounds like a good one. You can swing by that.
Yeah, that would be over here, number 14.
Yeah.
Big cobblestone courtyard with a large slanted roof, maybe 30 feet above it. It's taller than most of the buildings around it because it doesn't need to have floors. As you walk up, the loud sounds of barkers can be heard echoing from the streets, and there is a constant stream of people in and out of the large quote-unquote doors, essentially just a massive archway that opens from the street in to this area. Like I said, most of the stalls are food, but you do see some exotic goods that you haven't seen, things that you don't even have words for, and more than one place that seems to be selling animals of different varieties.
Definitely, sort of. I'll pick up some food first. I think.
Sure. Why don't you describe me what sort of street food you find?
I'll just sort of looking around, and pretty much the thing that looks big, meaty, and cheap.
Kebabs.
Yeah,
Almost every type of people invent a kebab or an analogy or an analog.
I'll grab a couple of those, and I'll hand one off to Zashi.
Okay.
Zashi will gladly nom.
Yeah, you pay a little bit extra to get the beef instead of the horse meat.
Yeah. I mean, not that Zeke would care, but he feels
But
like
it-
so.
He
It's
knows
better.
Zashi would.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I'll sort of wander over towards the.
I'm playing a game right now. What's up? Then we need to restart it. Just close it down and reopen it. Close the program. Close. No, not the computer. Close the program. Press the X on the top right.
Hey, Brandon, your
Sorry.
mic is on.
Yeah, there's a wide variety of different things. I'm not sure what you're interested in or what might catch your eye, but there is a little of everything. Not as much like magic things, but you do see like this is like a fan, like a lady's fan that will wave itself for you, cool you down. And here's a machine that chills your drinks and makes ice.
I thought you said animals.
There are, and yeah, there's more than one stall that has animals. You see one that's very clearly like a pop-up stable, has about 6 different stables with 5 horses in it, and a few more smaller ones. There's several, mostly birds. You're seeing a lot of bird.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find just a small bird, just a small songbird that is not particularly ostentatious or fancy or anything. Just looks small, friendly, playful.
Sure. Are you more interested in the Forever Homes or Monsters R Us?
Probably river homes.
Okay. You make your way over and
I'm gonna take a look at Monsters R Us, but as far as actually getting something.
Monsters R Us, while it's not, you don't see anything that immediately jumps out to you as monstrous. You do look over and see, why is there an octopus? Like, who would want? There are several monkeys and birds that you don't recognize clearly from like a colder climate and that kind of thing. More exotic, normal animals than actually monstrous things, but you can see that some of the cages have like tarps or pieces of cloth over them, so you can't see the interior. But they've got like big lizards and snakes and all very, very different things. Whereas Forever Homes, you see a literal box of puppies, a milk crate or 2 that has a grown or a pair of kittens. You see more than a few birds in cages that hang from the roof of this small it's not exactly a hand cart. You would need a horse to move it, but it is very much just like a door on the back of a cart that is open that you can step up into. And yeah.
Well, sort of off to the side, ask if there are any young birds that are unparented.
Yeah, he has is there a specific kind of songbird that you'd be after that I could provide for you here?
Really anything small, like a sparrow or a finch or.
They would, and they would definitely, if you're interested in, they definitely have canaries. That's the only one that I know for sure that they would have. But if you're looking for a finch, yeah, you could absolutely do like that.
Yeah, canary would be fine as well.
Okay. Then
Anything small.
okay.
And
You
it's probably in a slightly bad way.
okay? You see that this middle-aged halfling man, he's got like the classic hands covered in a lot of very, very small, thin scratch scars going all the way up to his wrists just from handling small creatures his whole life. And he'll pull down a cage that's filled with 13 canaries. And he gives it a little bit of a shake, not cruelly, but you do see one of the canaries lose its grip and fall from the one of the higher perches to the smaller ones, and he'll point at that one. Call him Stumble, smallest of the ones that hatched. It was my pet bird's last clutch.
I'll go for that one.
All right, Stumble, you made it. And he'll open like the very small door to the cage and grab the birds. The others like swirl around and try and sneak past his hand out, but he skillfully just pulls the bird out and closes the cage with his free hand. I couldn't take more than a pair of silvers for him. He's small enough that you could feed him on a year for the same amount.
Well, how about 3 silver? You and me, whatever food you got that you might enjoy.
Sure.
And
Bag of bird seed.
equipment to keep it living and on the ground.
Yeah, so you have like your cage, which I would imagine has at least a bowl of some kind that's like affixed to one of the sides of the cage that you could pour the food into. He'll as part of the gold give you a big old bag of bird seed and a one of those hook on water bottles that clips to the side.
Appreciate it. And I'll see if does it seem like the bird's gonna just like be chill to just sit on my shoulder or in my fur or something, or is he kind of jumpy?
It's young enough that you would definitely need to train it to stay near you. You can assume that based just on the way he's handling it. But you could absolutely like teach it to like you. I would say that you are probably not the most endearing person on a first meet with a bird.
Yeah. I do have animal handling, but on the
Right.
first meet, 100%.
Yeah, it's the sort of situation where you could absolutely teach the
Yeah.
bird. You would just have to do so.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be what you're doing when you're in your ship, rather than learning a skill. Aw, bird love.
Little baby.
All right, little fella, let's go.
What about you,
Zashi
Zashi?
finds this extremely adorable and is probably while she watches this exchange for a little bit, she decides to kind of gaze down the aisle and look to see if there is like an herbalist stand in this area.
Over in the center.
If you are looking for just raw ingredients, you would absolutely be able to find something like that with lots of exotic greens and vegetables and mushrooms. Many of them actively drying, clipped onto the sides of this rickshaw. If you're looking for something more potion oriented, you don't see anything at first glance, but you can feel free to make an investigation.
Yeah, I mean, I know Zeke mentioned looking for pipeweed, but I know you wanted to go to the herbalist for another reason, right?
Yeah, that's the
Um,
herbalist side. I nicked the shit.
right. Okay, then Zashi will probably upon not seeing anything, just because maybe it's not 100% good to, shit where you eat or whatever the phrase is, but um she like goes back to the pet stall and waits for Zeke.
I think it doesn't
Okay.
take long. In fact, he probably comes back and the bird is either tucked into his coat or is in the cage, and he's holding it carefully, but like over his back.
Okay.
Um, just one moment. I'm gonna be running around a bit, Mister Sales Person. Can you hold on to him for a second? I'll be back in, I don't know, hour.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
Just be back before sundown.
Will do.
Is that possible at this time?
Depending on how long you guys are there. If you go there, have a short conversation, and come back, absolutely. If you are there for several hours, absolutely.
If I'm not back, can you either hold on to him or drop him off at the socks?
We'll pay you extra, of course.
Yeah.
He'll hold out his hand.
Silver.
Okay. He'll nod at the socks then. What name?
Zeke.
Okay. And you two head out then.
Zashi will make some kind of joke about how you're gonna be very popular at socks.
A lot of your name being bandied about.
I don't even wear shoes. So,
Should have probably given my name, but oh well. Just so that we're not causing a scene.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like I caused a scene anyway. What's more on top of it?
True, if anybody said we're looking for a big cat, I imagine it wouldn't be too hard to
Yeah, I'm
pick you out of a lineup.
All right.
A big cat or a bitch with like flaming hair.
Oh, God.
Definitely a distinctive pair. All right. Let's go get some business done.
Business noises.
Business. Sales.
Business.
Business.
Okay. You walk through the central city district. As you pass through, you pass the row of greenhouses, which are vibrant and filled with a variety of vegetables that are not usually ripening around this time of year. Watermelons, notably, is one that you see, as well as pumpkins. This here, that you know from your map to be called the Living Waters, actually has its interior circle cordoned off with not exactly police tape, but bright yellow colored like painted rope. And then there is more than one posted guard. It appeared to be just mundane guards, city guards, not members of the military.
Possible buy. Can I get like an inkling as to what's going on in it?
You could absolutely go and ask. You do see like people who walk by it don't look over towards the fountain in the center, but you can see that the fountain in the center is bone dry.
Let's maybe the fountain is out of season. Thinks Zashi because she is nobility.
This. I don't think that's how it works.
Well, in some places the water features they go out at certain seasons. The fountain at our our fountain was turned off in the winter, I guess. But
Did they guard it?
no, I guess. Well, we did have like, yeah, no, not what you're asking. No.
Yeah, figured. But, keep a note of. You know what? I'm gonna ask curiosity and all that, and I'll
It killed the
just,
cat. The guard stabs you. You die.
No.
Ha ha ha! Classic comedy.
I set you up for that one. But yeah, I'll ask. Um, what's the role of security? It's just a fountain, isn't it?
Uh, no, sir. These are the living waters. One of the reasons the town was founded, even before we found out the mountains were full of iron and copper.
I mean, what should I think about? Don't look like no living oil water at the moment.
That right there's the problem. Someone's stolen it. It's supposedly fed by a current of water, underground, frozen ice, something like that. Not my area of expertise.
Steal water from a place that you can't get to.
That be the question, sir.
It's fucking weird.
Between you and me, I think it's them. You know, knives. He gives like a knowing nod.
You mean like them folk with them pins?
His eyebrows go up and he's like, oh, I wouldn't know anything about such a thing, sir. And I would say at this point, why don't you give me a history with advantage?
All right. 18-ish
Yes.
and history.
Oh, dear lord.
I don't call much about that. I just heard about some folks with some pins.
Well, you be careful, sir. And he kind of like looks at your gleaming silver handled sword, the gigantic halberd.
Probably
Be careful.
apart from one sword at home, to be honest.
Okay, which sword did you bring with you?
The silver one.
The silver one. Okay. So he looks at your very fancily made sword and says, "You be careful then, sir."
I'm always careful.
He'll nod, and I assume you walk away?
Yeah.
Okay. You pass through further into the central district. As you pass what is labeled as the Jarl's house, you see the largest building that you've seen yet to date since you've been out. It is 4 stories tall at its highest construction, but it does appear to be 3 or more buildings that were built together or possibly joined at a later date after their initial construction. It's this massive complex of buildings, and though the front doors are open, not many people are coming in and out of the like foyer area that you see.
Do I know much about this Jarl fella?
No, you know also that there are no jarls in the Galarian stub government. It's a
That's
senate.
very odd.
Yeah, jarls are the people that rule. Dukes are the people that rule in the Lifeless Yonder, which would be the closest analog. But you don't know about no jarl.
Do I know what a Jarl is?
You would assume that they're a person of leadership. I'm not sure that you know specifically, Zeke, but you know that they're like noble, sort of.
Yeah.
Zashi would
Zashi
definitely
would
know more.
probably know, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Zashi, if you would like to give me a history about nobles and that might be able to point you as to why this is here. With a 10, you know that Jarl is a very old word for leader of a town or city. Depending on how old this place would be, this might have been the Jarl's place originally, and there might not be one, but you have no idea. I can't tell you more specifically on a 10. And incongruously, across the street from this massive construction is a small house. I'm gonna bring everybody to be able to see this, though only Zeke and Zashi will be there.
Mm-hmm.
There's just behind a small stone wall is a dark looking building with a large glass atrium on the side that seems to have curved and knotted trees growing before and through and on top of this two-story rickety looking
What?
house. And what you took to be behind this house from the map to be an orchard or perhaps a stand of trees, you can now make out dirty and half-buried headstones, many
Mm.
overgrown with moss.
This is the herbalist.
This is where you were directed to find the herbalist by both the map and the guy. Yes.
And I'll, yeah, just walk up, raising the brass, just walk up to the front door. It's weird. Knock.
Okay. Yeah, there's a heavy iron knocker on the door. I'm gonna
Yeah, pick it up and whack, whack, whack.
Uh, it's not very much longer after that the door is opened. Yes, says the voice as you see a uh elderly matronly tiefling woman peer around the corner of the door. How can I help you?
Out of character, she looks like a stripper.
This whore, this horriblist.
Goddamn.
But yeah, I'll. Ma'am, we're looking for, well, herbs, if you can believe it. I'm told you're one of the folk to be asking about that.
Uh, of course. What can I help you with? And she'll step fully out of the door and close it behind her. Excuse me, I just haven't tidied up inside. It's my home
Ma'am,
more than a store per se.
ma'am, I assure you, I have made far greater messes than you could possibly be keeping inside your home. I'm quite all right with it.
Be that as it may, uh, my best foot forward would be to have this conversation in the beautiful daylight. And she kind of like holds her hand up, and you notice that despite it being a pretty sunny day, it is overcast now. There's a large cloud that seems to have come out of nowhere.
Is there some curse bullshit on this house? Because I swear it feels like there's some curse bullshit on this house.
Oh, it's an old building to be sure, and she'll look back up at it. I only recently moved in, actually.
I'm just there's so many red flags.
Can I
I'm
insight on that?
saying,
That seems like bullshit.
Sure. I mean, it seems like she only recently moved here. As she continues talking, as both of you kind of squint at her, she's looking up at the house. Uh, the former herbalist, left, as far as I know, a decade ago, maybe a bit more. And I moved in, I guess not as recent. I mean, a year is pretty recent, with a new place you're getting familiarized. Um, I finished cleaning the infernal glass in the. I'm so sorry. How can I help you? I am a practicing herbalist. If there's anything that you need, sleep tonics or love potions or.
I'm not one for manipulating folks' free will. No, thank you.
Of
Um,
course.
I shall be looking at some. Could you show me what selection of
you know, hope smack, some uh, pipe smoking herbs you got, and perhaps anything that might be useful to combat episodes myself. And I'll rest my hand on the sword.
Well, I'm sure I could procure some smoking herbs, as you said. Are you looking for something more for de-stress, or something to uh, uh, lift the mind, as it were?
I mean, I'll take a look at anything you got.
Uh, all right. One moment. For you, dear.
Um, I. She's trying to come up with something that gives her a reason for being there without just being a tag along. But she'll raise her eyebrows and ask, do you only sell herbs?
No. I have plenty of potions as well.
Then I'm here to take a look at those.
Of course. Uh, I mostly craft on demand, but I do have a few things that I could bring out. Uh,
Anything special?
well,
Brews you are particularly proud of?
I do have a list of things that I could sell very cheap if you're willing to test them in front of me.
Well, I'm nothing if not down.
Excellent. One moment. And she'll turn and disappear back inside, closing the door. And you hear a firm click from the catch. Not necessarily locking it, but it is like that is fully shut. And you two wait, standing on the door of this creepy ass house. A few minutes later, to the sound of some clinking glass against glass, she does return.
Are we able to see anyone else, like, or like movement in the windows or anything like that?
Looking through the windows, you can give me a perception, or trying to look past her would be another check.
Persuasion?
Um, the only figure you catch through the windows looks very much like her. Uh, as she steps into this room, and you see her pick up a bundle of something green and turn and move out of your sight. The only other light that you see that is moving is it appears that there's a candle in this window up here, which is flickering softly, but you don't see any figures or anything like that. She returns. She produces the bag that you just saw her pick up, as well as another pouch, and offers it to you, Zeke. Which would be more pleasant to the nose.
Well, yeah, I'll take it and like a little bit of a sniff and a look at both of them.
Yeah, you definitely recognize some pretty high quality pipe weed, much more analogous to tobacco. Um, it has a heavy, smoky, very earthy smell to it. Very rich. Whereas the other one is much skunkier.
Yeah, I'll probably go for the tobacco one then.
Okay.
And I find having a cloud about me common, anything to help accentuate that kind of
I missed the
appearance.
first part of your sentence. What was it?
Having a cloud about me.
Cloud about you. I'm not sure I have anything of that sort. I do have some plants that burn incredibly slowly. If you are interested in perhaps hanging one about your person.
I could do that.
One moment then, and she'll crack the door, and it seems like she reaches just inside and pulls something off of the wall there and produces it. It's not unlike sage, uh,
Yeah,
but it seems to have been dipped in this like incense coating. So both the
Hmm.
incense and the plant have to burn before it's gone. It would smoke for probably if you just lit it and left it, this whole thing would burn for a day or two before going out.
Um, you know, with the big ass house. I mean, you got family or?
Uh, living with me, no, not anymore.
Yeah, yeah. I heard you had a son who was getting out into some unfortunate business.
Yes, but sadly, I am that old. Uh, yes, he came to the city with me.
Where would he be about now? I needed to speak to him. I ain't gonna do him no harm, of course.
I'm not sure. He stays with a friend of his in here. Boys, you know. He doesn't come by and see his mother as much as he should.
Would you be able to point me to where he's been staying?
Uh, not without asking why. Someone would be looking for my son.
I had a little bit of business with. I understand he got into some trouble, and I wanna. Well, let's put it this way: I'm probably one of the more understanding folks that would be after.
I'm sure I don't know what you mean. My son has never been in any trouble. She crosses her arms.
Man, you might not know it. Your son has been a little sticky finger, and
How dare you?
man, if he ain't done been visiting you, how the hell would you know what he's been doing?
I'll I'll thank you to keep that kind of talk to yourself. My son is a good man.
Well,
Now, do we have business? Should
we
I shut
do,
my door?
but I will say that whether it is true or not, there are those who believe that he has been enacting such things. And if he has not, then I'll be quite happy to tell any interested parties that he is innocent after speaking to him. I just want to
I
get
think
this
you
out.
have said plenty.
Man, prison is a nice place.
So now we'll switch to threats, is that it?
No, I'm saying that
The guards are in ear's reach, young man. Keep your next thought in mind before you speak it.
if your son is
Say another word about my son. Do it right now.
man, I mean,
Zashi will step around and go,
She
look.
is like literally, as Zashi reaches up, she turns and slams the door. The like creak of the frame is very loud.
that is about as incriminating as it gets.
Yeah, I guess we have our answer.
She's a bit of a bitch.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah, it could not be your approach at all.
Yeah, but
Hi, I'm no one. Your son's a criminal.
I mean, we're just letting her know that
Your
that's
son
on
is maybe a
that's on the
criminal.
wind.
Yeah. We're like, hey, we've heard that your son's doing some shady shit. We just want to check up on him before, nastier people come.
Zashi,
The chaotic, evil Tiger Man is not as evil as they come. You are going to disembowel this guy. What are you talking about?
Lawfully.
You are literally not good in any way for this woman. Why would she think that?
I don't know. Maybe I'm deceptive enough.
Don't you have a -1?
No, +1.
Huh.
Zashi will look over to Zeke and shrug and go, that's probably all we're gonna get from her. Should we head back?
That way. Yeah. All right. Up.
All right, it is pretty late. I would say the sun is nearing setting. It will probably set in the next few minutes.
I'm gonna get my bird, go back to the laser socks.
Okay. Yeah, you probably make it there as the guy is pushing his cart away from the stand and towards the upper city. He'll see you and say, "Thank God." Hand the bird over and turn the cart around and start heading to the south side of the city in the Halfling district.
Yeah.
Lucelle and Cherie, you guys have been here for like 5 hours at this point. And the night is definitely winding down.
With that, sticking to the softer songs, so everyone more relaxed for a bit.
The halfling woman at the bar yawns, and her mouth opens like the Reach commercial. Just like, ah! She just yawns super wide. It's like, what the fuck?
I will gonna turn in, but on the way out. Tuning in for now, Zinni. Always a pleasure to be able to play for a small audience, but also you, Jared.
Many thanks, as always. Fuck, I can't keep the fake names in my head.
I know, it's fair.
There are too many of them.
Miss Serena.
Serena. And he'll pass you your 2 gold.
Thank you.
It'd be a pleasure to have you if you stay another night.
We shall see what is happening in the morning. I may be here a little bit longer. Rest well, Jared.
You as well. Last call. Lucelle and Cherie, as you guys make your way out, you do see a figure stand up and approach the bar from the back of the room. You're not sure when they came in, but they are one of the only people in the room wearing armor. It is strange and patched together over this coat of scale mail that you can tell is damaged underneath the other patched pieces.
Take note of him and try to briefly memorize him. Try to keep it from being obvious that I'm watching him for a moment.
Sure.
I'll probably keep moving just so there's not too much questioning.
Okay. Lucille, you gonna stay in the oh, Lucille's still in the bathroom. Oh no, you
No,
can.
I'm still here. She moves away from the bar, but I guess if there's like a din to the room and are people like chit chatting and all that, now the music's kind of died down.
Most people are finishing their last drink. There is a little bit of quiet conversation that never really stopped, even during the performance. But
She's gonna
it doesn't immediately pick up or anything like that.
she's going to kind of like creep around the bar corner, and then she's gonna try to hide her hands and her face as she crouches down to cast detect thoughts, trying to hide that she's casting a spell.
So unless you have subtle spell, you saying the words, if does it have verbal components?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so that would still be audible in the room.
Okay.
That's the
Yeah.
big
She's gonna
thing.
set a spell. So,
A big oof.
So
um,
so do you want to do that?
yeah, it's not like a harmful spell. It's just
Right, and no, not everybody, not you're not even sure anybody would know the spell just from the words, but
yeah.
people's heads will turn. Is all I'm saying.
But she does cast it so that she is now in detect thoughts mode, and she does just I guess sense. She's trying to sense the intent of that guy with the crazy armor, with the strange armor.
Okay.
Surface
So
thought.
surface thoughts. What's on its mind at that moment? The first thought that you get is get a drink before it closes. Um, but the next thought is, what room are they in? And you can see, as he drinks his drink, he looks over towards you. Uh, uh, Maybe not catching you looking at him, but definitely looking over towards you. You can see a couple different heads turn, and including Jaren's. He says, "Um, was that you?"
Hmm? Oh no, nothing. She quietly moves out.
Oh, all right.
She's
Have a good night.
good night, and she walks out of the room. I guess, she's still within range. Let's see what's the distance on that. Within 30 feet. She still has like she knows where it's not. Let me see, choose.
So you'd have to change your target to a person that you can see.
Yeah.
That's the only requirement.
Uh, I guess I guess as she's leaving, but she didn't break. As she's line, she doesn't break line of sight. But yeah, she is gonna press in a little bit farther just to see what he was talking about about the rooms. So yeah, I guess it's a DC to see about pressing in on him.
Okay. And then success or fail, it knows, right?
Yes. So DC 15 wisdom saving throw. Oh wait, is it wisdom or intelligence? 1 second. Wisdom saving throw.
That's a 12.
Okay, so yeah, I gain insight into its reasoning, its emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind. So basically, yeah, she's kind of focusing on what he was thinking about regarding the rooms he's trying to investigate.
Um, you know from something that looms large in its mind that this creature has seen you all before. And the image that you see looming in its head is kind of confused at first, and then you realize it's because it's from underwater. This is the
Mmm.
moment from the were-shark's perspective immediately after it bit Zashi.
What do I see its face or his face?
There's a pretty well enclosed helmet that this person is wearing. You know from this delve into their mind that it is trying to find out where you are staying so that it can find Zashi.
Okay, yeah, Lucelle immediately gets the hell out of that room, and goes to Cherie and her room.
Give me a contested intelligence check.
Okay. Just straight intelligence.
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna use my reroll.
Okay.
Not much better. That face. Oh well.
Okay. So a 15 is going to beat that, and you are forcibly pushed out of this thing's mind with a growling sound.
Oh no.
Wait.
As you are kind of fleeing down the hallway, you do see a figure sitting alone in the sitting room with a what looks like a very nice glass of brandy in their hand. They're swirling it and looking into the fire. They have a gray-brown cloak on.
She's still concentrating on detect thoughts. So since she could see him, what does she sense off his surface thoughts?
Boredom.
Their boredom. Okay, that's all. She's continuing to move.
The feeling of waiting in line.
Okay, that's
This
definitely.
door is closed, but I'll say it's cracked, and you can see just the storage.
I'm
area.
guessing Cherie was
Oh,
not
I think I
informed
read
of
the wrong way.
anything.
My bad. I meant to. So I definitely go past just because I'm worried, and then I'm like, oh wait, I need to go this way. So she didn't go past that guy's room, but she
Oh, okay.
realizes. Yeah, I made a mistake there. But yeah, we'll say she rushes that way because she's worrying, and then she's oh wait, I gotta go this way, and then she heads back to their room.
Cherie has been informed of what?
I'm guessing Cherie wasn't informed of anybody showing up looking for her.
This big city relaxing right now.
Okay. As so you're making your way back to the room. That's when Zeke and Zashi are going to arrive.
Okay.
I assume you guys go to check in with the front desk.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, I guess would they arrive when she enters
Yeah.
the lobby? Yeah, I guess she would immediately like not like playing her hand, but she would immediately telepathically let Cherie know. It's like, or let Zashi know, hey, uh, something really bad's here. We need to get to your room right away. Be cautious, quiet. And then she moves past and very quietly moves to her room.
Zashi will heed this warning and walk straight to.
All right. Zeke, you walk over. Hello.
Yes.
I'm supposed to tell you that uh uh he pulls out like a piece of paper that has some handwriting on it. I don't meet seconds. Uh I'll wait till midnight. From the gentleman in the sitting room, and passes you the paper.
Right. There are a few folk in there.
The sitting room, sir, not the tavern room. And he'll direct you. The sitting room would be right over here. And you would recognize the figure that you saw before at the Wet Duck moving out of the.
I'll clock him and I'll say, "Hey, friend, didn't I see you at the dock?"
They'll stop, but will only sort of turn their head part of the way to face you, which has an effect of keeping what lit like their eyes and mouth, which would be the only things that you can see in shadow. And they say in a very rough voice, "I'm just trying out the watering holes. What's to you?"
Well, we both been doing some looking around. I'm just wondering what you're looking around for.
Nice ditch to sleep in right now. This place is too fancy for me. And he puts a hand on the door and begins to push it open. I don't know if you have anything else to say to stop it. Now would be the time.
I don't feel like I have anything that would stop him, so I'll move over to the sitting room.
Okay. Yeah. You would see Sven sitting there with a cup of brandy. You would not know this because you didn't see it, but the cup is much emptier than it was a few moments ago. He'll raise the glass to you, stand up from the fire, and move over to the couch here.
I will close the door, and if there is a latch, I will latch it.
There's not a latch, but there is a locking mechanism, but anyone who has the key could open it.
All right. Well, I'll lock it just so that I know that it will, like we'll hear it.
We'll put a door here. You should be able to close that. Yeah.
And I'll just sort of, I won't sit down, but I'll like lean on both the couches, one hand each, like kind of blocking the way out.
Sit down. I would like to show you what you're buying. And gestures for the other couch.
Well, I like to see it from up close.
All the more reason to sit down and carefully examine. And he'll take a silk, what looks like a piece of rolled up silk, about the size of a rolled up newspaper, and he puts it down on the table and starts to untie a somewhat complicated a somewhat complicated knot on it. He unrolls it and or unties it and then rolls the silk out and folds it open, and you see an array of different colored gems, each about the size of a skipping stone. Many of them polished and cut, but about a third of them not.
Do any of them look like the ones, or
The uncut ones would be the ones you're looking for. They appear to fit the description.
may I take a look? And I reach out.
One at a time.
Understandable. And I'll sort of take a look over them. You know, I like the natural forms of that. Just feels a little bit more real. How much?
Say 30 for any of the uncut.
Just based on how much I get for handing it in. Like, is that a profit or a loss?
You would that would be a loss. You were told by the merchant that each of the uncut gems are worth 20.
Okay. I mean, considering that they're pretty hot right now, I'm gonna say, honestly, even 15 would be generous on my part.
I'm not sure what heat you're bringing in your ship, Captain, but these gems are as clear, as cool as the living waters themselves.
Funny you should say that. The living waters are not exactly present. So I feel like you're trying to pull a fast one on me with that comparison.
Not sure what you could mean. I'm not aware of any issues with one of our city's major attractions.
Then you are lying. That or you do not get on much.
I'm a nocturnal animal, I confess. 23. Meet you right in the middle, but I won't haggle any further down.
I'll take a couple.
Your pick then, but let's see your goal.
Can I like see what ones there are?
Yeah, I mean, there are most of the uncut gems, to an untrained eye, are not all that different looking. The white or gray buildup of stone around the gems themselves, obscures them, but you see what are probably more than a few rubies, several different garnets and agates, that are all among the listed stones, as well as a few of the diamonds that you were told to look for.
Okay. I'll pick up let's say one of each type.
Okay. So I listed more than 3 types. Are you gonna just pick 3?
Yeah, I'll just pick 3.
Okay. Let's say a ruby, a garnet, and a diamond for clarity's sake.
And give I
Let's
don't
say
know. I feel like
69.
okay if you're often yeah, sure.
If I cut you off, please.
I was gonna say seeing as I'm buying 3 altogether. Bulk discount, maybe 60.
Give me a persuasion.
Alrighty. Eheble.
I said I wouldn't haggle any further down, but I'll meet you at 65.
Sure, 65. And I will take out the amount of gold and hold it out in one hand and then hold out the other hand.
Okay. He'll pick up the gems, drop them into your hand, take the gold, and he puts it into what looks very much like a coin counting machine, like with the that sorts the coins by size.
Yeah.
That he has sewn into the inside of one of his 2 cloaks. A pleasure, Captain. And he'll begin to roll the silk thing back up. He folds it over the stones and starts to roll it.
Oh, and I didn't get a chance to meet the boy. His mother's a little shut in and she don't much care for conversation. Do you know where he's staying at?
Couldn't say.
Understandable. See you around.
He nods. If this makes sense, he nods dishonestly, as if like, sure.
Yeah. And I'll, yeah, go back to the middle.
Yeah, you probably hear him like getting up and finishing his drink, even as you're leaving. Do you guys all like gather together, meet up, and talk about stuff?
I would imagine.
Okay,
Yeah.
whose room do you guys use that for?
Probably going to
Yeah.
Zashi's.
Yeah. We go to Zashi's room. So definitely has no longer has changed back to her normal appearance, and she's now a fairy. Although she's still hiding her wings. Her wings are still being hidden by the sky self. But she's got
Okay.
her hair. She's no longer got the appearance of a halfling. She looks like a fairy. She's got her blonde hair with pointy ears and such.
Okay.
But yeah, she is being cautious, so she is stealthing to go approach the door. Not very good stealth because she's very excited to fight a werewolf, fight a wereshark, and she goes to the door. She goes really eagerly.
Just rapid knocking.
Just that's fluttering as her wings are just.
Come in.
She opens the door like Kramer and Seinfeld. Whack! Hey! You're not gonna you're gonna love this.
Oh my.
And she waits for Sherry to come in first.
You're not even in the room.
Slide on in, friend.
And she closed the door, and then she I guess she grabs. It's like we got like a blanket or something. You got something we can muffle the door a little bit.
Just talk quietly. I imagine it's heavy enough.
Should be.
Oh wait, I got telepathy. I'm not stupid. She's like, okay, I'll So she telepathy. She used to tell Sherry to tell Zashi first. The shark guy's here, and he looks like he's wearing this armor. I couldn't see his face because he had some cover in his face, but he looks like this. And she uses her telepathy to share the visual of what the guy looks like, and she does that for everybody.
Is that the guy who I saw?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's like he's here and he's looking for you. I'm not sure if he's looking to do something to you, or he just wants to talk. I just know that he's hunting you. He's hunting you, or he's trying to find you down. So maybe we can find him and, nick with the hacky slashy killy willies and get his blood so we can get your curse reversed. Or if you want to be a wereshark person, that's fine too. I mean, you know me, I'm all for crazy shit. But yeah, he's here. But he might have allies here. You know how he is with his little shark shits. So there might be other shark folk here. Just saying, might be careful. And also probably want to, like, drag him out of this town so we don't bring a bunch of heat down on our heads when we have a big fight with him. But yeah, he's here. So hey,
Well,
saved us the time from having to hunt his ass down, right?
yeah, I guess that's convenient.
Little
Did I do good? She looks like she wants to get prayed ahead. She looks like a little kid.
Yeah, you did good. No, we gotta go find him.
I pat her on the head.
She looks very ecstatic. She looks very pleased with herself as she gets pat on the head.
Where did you say you saw it?
He was in the lounge while we were finishing up. While Sherry was finishing up her singing set, and I was enjoying the music. I got a little. He was a little suspicious because of how he was all dressed up, and I tried to be secretive about casting detect thoughts. I don't think I was that secretive, but people didn't really recognize the kind of magic I was using, and I was able to sense something weird about it. So I pushed in, and then I found out. I figured out that whoever that fuck guy was, it was the shark guy too.
Well, shit. I mean, I don't want to, I don't want to start a fight in the tavern.
No. We should probably keep it, probably keep low, maybe rest up a little bit, and then
Bait them in the night.
bait them into coming out of town and start a fight with them outside of town.
I mean, are any of you any good at baiting? Or...
I mean, I'm the queen of baiting. Hello. I can make
Yeah,
myself
literally, like, bait.
I can make myself look like she, bam, looks just like Zashi. So
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, seriously. I mean, well, he's not a werewolf, so I guess you don't have to smell stuff, but you might have other senses that work. I don't know.
This is true.
All right. Well, let's get going. I'd be surprised if he wasn't expecting us.
Well, he didn't have an idea where we is yet, but that might change in a drop of a hat. Also, we got that, nervous fuck idiot, and he's easily intimidated. So we probably should make scarce of this place, just because we're kind of sitting vulnerable right now.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna take some shit back to the ship while we're looking.
Hey, it's a good thing I dropped a lot of money on silvered weapons, right?
I mean,
Yes.
I don't
Good
really
job.
forget.
No. I think the silver, that longsword is gonna help you with killing the shark guy, my boss. Captain.
I'm pretty sure my claws
No,
can go
you're.
right through one, but
Oh, yeah, no, I'm sure they can, but if I don't really, I don't know that much about like cursed werefolk, but I do know that silver really kills them good.
let's get going either way.
Mm-hmm. I'm just happy I did good.
Yeah. Great job.
Hmm?
Sashi will kind of think for a moment and go, I don't know if it's necessary for you to switch into me. I think I can bait him.
Oh yeah,
I imagine once I show up in the tavern, maybe he'll react in some way.
He just left, so we need to go after him.
Let's go.
Catch him in an alley or something. Let's go.
All right, so the others are going to an agreed upon meetup spot, and I'm gonna bait him to it.
I don't think we agreed upon anything. We're just trying to find the guy.
Oh, he's in the tavern, right? I assume
No,
he's like in a. Oh, he left.
Yeah.
Ah, got it. Okay.
Though we probably can't see it immediately unless he's going straight down the road. I mean, can we?
Even then, assuming he went straight down the road, this is not a city that has like street lamps
Yeah.
ignited every night. There are what look like artificer constructions, not unlike a pylon, but they don't seem to be active. You surmise that they might be short-term use for emergencies.
All right.
But no, there is no like. It is dark, so I think Lucille, you would need to like cast light.
Oh yeah, no,
to be able to see,
she
for
immediately
example.
she casts light on the pebble that she eats in her pocket, so she's got a little light source. She's like,
Can I catch like because he's in some pretty heavy armor. Can I catch his booted footprint anywhere and try to do that?
Think I did say that these streets are paving stone, but I'm not sure if I decided that already. It definitely the upper city would be not dirt paths at this point,
or at least hard packed and difficult to make prints.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that there is any like that. If you'd like to try and roll a survival to track him in some other way, I would absolutely be down. I don't specifically. I don't think there'd be footprints.
I'd like to do that. I don't know how it would, but I'd like to.
Scent on the air, looking around for any large shark-shaped holes in the wall.
Yeah. Alrighty. Smab.
Woo!
Ooh.
Damn.
There is a somewhat musky old blood smell that you picked up on him when he was in the lazy socks, because it stood out so much against the background of other smells, and you are able to follow it. It does seem to lead straight down, and I will say, as you reach the merchant's district, it does get a bit even more intense, and you think that he is probably in the my brain keeps saying like borough, but that's not what I'm meaning to say. The like cul-de-sac of houses in this area. He is probably amongst these streets here.
Okay, in which case, yeah, coming that way. And, is there any sign that I could continue to follow?
As you reach his area, you can definitely smell that he was here recently, but it's as if he, I would say the smells here are much more pungent, and it's harder to tell just him, just where he is exactly.
Is there anyone else?
There are a few people in the streets, mostly people headed home. It's near midnight at this point.
I'll catch one that's coming, heading up north, kind of direction. Potentially might have seen him. Excuse me, friend. I'm looking for a fella, full armor, canvas. So give me any other particular descriptions.
I saw him. I saw him head. I think that way. And he points towards like one of the off streets. This way, right about here.
Right,
Maybe went into one of the houses.
I'll flank him up a particular house.
Can't say.
Alright, I'll come this way, and then I'll walk up with a brisk pace and knock upon the door.
As you are walking around, why don't I take you to this map? You have quite a few houses to check up upon.
Which way did he sniff?
Well, this is clearly a muddy road. At least it's not
I'm saying it's clearly a money what?
muddy road. At least it's not.
No, this is not every map is good, unfortunately.
You're good. I just figured because it was like a slightly shittier part of town, then maybe they might not have bothered to pave it recently.
Since it is there's less like that there is it's what you what kind of overcast is it like right now? Is it kind of a what's the mood like right now? Is it like closer to full moon or?
I would say it is close, but not by more than a week.
Okay, so the moon is out. We have a little bit of moonlight, but it's not super bright.
Yeah, there are plenty of clouds that have persisted from earlier, where a sudden overcastness sort of stole over the city.
Okay, Lucille does let her disguise self change into being her full fairy self, and she flies up to get cover in the rooftops and hide from eyesight, from line of sight from people.
Okay.
So she can observe and flit among the rooftops to observe in windows where she can possibly peek in without getting spotted.
All right.
Is there a particular, like, are there people around here or not really?
Not as much as before, as you guys are heading down this area. While there are lights on in many of the houses, about half of the houses that you pass are also dark. You can see more than a few like home businesses where the first floor is dark and the upper floor is has a candle or two in a window. Things like a dentist, an eye doctor, people who are merchants and would live and work here, but close much earlier than that. It definitely strikes you as a sleepy sort of district.
Okay.
Roll me a stealth, Lucille, also.
I'm assuming I cannot continue to track the fellow.
No, you can go looking and knocking on doors. You guys could continue farther down, see if there's anything else to see.
Yeah, alright. I will just sort of take a wander around to start with. I can move freely, I assume?
Yeah.
Open him search.
As you are walking, you see, leaning up against the post to one of the houses, is the figure that you were all looking for. And as he pushes up, you see a few people draw closer, one from each of the pieces of road that this four-way lane turns into. And in a heavy, gravelly voice, he says,
Tell us
"Where's
what
the woman of fire? We will have words."
you don't seem like the talking type.
Zashi, are you keeping up with the party? Okay, so he would see you glowing wherever you're standing.
Yeah.
You come very close to someone who was afraid of me last time. But I'll not deal with you. Firewoman, what is your name?
Zashi will give the fake name on her ID.
Which is
Don't remember what it was. But one second.
Insert fake name here, you'll find it when you find it.
Yeah.
You still live. And he takes a deep, like, your blood smells of richness and power. You feel it already, do you not?
I mean, I don't necessarily feel that much stronger. You might be. I do just have, rich blood, as they say.
Quite. It was delectable.
Okay, weirdo. That's enough. You're starting to sound like Cherie.
You have another who hungers.
Slowly stalk around Zeke on the other side.
Look, if you're looking for new family members, we ain't interested at this time.